for having me here today, guys. I really appreciate it. I am just a little background before I kind of get into things. My name is Valerie Licata, and I am a local unit president in Hillsborough County at Lowry Elementary. I also serve in Hillsborough County as the VP of Leadership Development. I serve with Polly, hi Polly, on the membership committee of Florida PTA, and I work for MemberHub. Yay, I'm like the official crazy PTA lady, but I know I'm in a safe place with a bunch of other crazy PTA ladies and maybe a gentleman in here somewhere. So that's kind of where I'm coming from. Shelly reached out to me about doing the training with you guys today. And as she mentioned, we are getting ready for our big update, which fingers crossed will happen on Wednesday. Everything is looking right to line up for that, for our big update on Wednesday to what we're calling MemberHub 21 or MH21. So I'm going to really just focus on doing some of the things in MemberHub 21 since we're just a couple of days away, and that's the look that you're gonna be seeing in the next couple of days. So a couple of things that we're going to go over. I know we have a mix of new PTA leaders and a mix of some, veteran PTA leaders, some who may have already been using MemberHub, some that are going to be using MemberHub. So I'm going to do kind of a real high level overview with some compliance stuff. And then I'm going to drop my meeting link in the chat for you guys to set up one-on-ones, which is really our preferred way of kind of doing stuff, because we really get to dive into your MemberHub. We get to show you all the things that you can do and all of the tools to make your PTA life easier. I really like interactive training. I am not one of those who's, I'm not going to go through some slides. I'm literally going to be working in a MemberHub profile. So stop me when you have questions. If Shelly, you could keep an eye on the chat for me as I'm sharing my screen, because sometimes that's hard for me to kind of notice when people are, but feel free to just unmute yourself. I really like the back and forth stuff when it comes to training. So we'll get into it. I'm gonna go ahead and start sharing my screen to a dashboard. This is our test unit. So when you log in, when the new MemberHub exists after Wednesday, I keep saying it like when that, I'm pretty sure we had to push it back a little bit, but I think we're good now. So this is what it'll look like when you log in. You'll see that it has a much more modern look than it currently does. You'll see that you can see all of the different categories and modules and tools here on the side. But right here on the front page is some stuff that's really important, right? So the very first thing that I'm going to jump into is our compliance. For new and returning officers, the very first thing that you're going to want to do is enter in your new officers if you haven't already. This gives them access to MemberHub to do the work that they need to do too. So you can see it looks definitely different from before, but you simply add an officer. You can add 21, 22. You're going to have their title drop down. There is a place for other where you can, there's something that doesn't exactly line up with, maybe you guys call it Ways and Means. I don't think Ways and Means is in here. So maybe you want to call that, fundraising or something like that. You're able to do however you want to do it. You can also, new this year, is expire the role at the end of the year. So if you have like all Florida units, I'm pretty sure it's all Florida units, you have to get reelected every year. You can have the role expire at the year end. So you no longer have to make sure you go in there and take somebody out. You can just continue to add people in. And you're going to need to make sure that the email address that you put in here is their personal email address. Do not put in your generic, I'm a president at a local unit. I have a president at LowryPTA.org. Do not put that email address in this officer information. You can put generic email addresses as admins and do your PTA work utilizing that generic email, but when it comes to the officer information, you absolutely need to put in your personal information here. And this is extremely important because Florida PTA also pulls this data, and they need to have the correct way to contact you even after you aren't a local leader anymore. Is there any questions about that before I move forward, or how to add people in? it's pretty cut and dry, but I always like to pause. Okay, so after you've added in all of your officers, you can see here, now this one is going to be blank because we're in a test unit, but there is some compliance stuff here. So for Florida PTA, you'll be able to acknowledge that you turned in your 990. This is not the IRS. When you put your stuff in here into MemberHub, it is not sending it to IRS, so please don't think that. But you are able to just kind of notify Florida PTA and notify Seminole County Council that some of those compliance stuff have been taken care of. And you'll see that in your unit pop up. You're not going to see that here because I'm in a demo site. So that pretty much takes care of making sure that you're starting the year off fresh, you have your new officers in there, they have administrative access, and you have your compliance up to date. But of course, always check with Seminole County Council to see if there's anything outstanding, like your bylaws or Florida PTA as well. Okay, the next thing that I'm going to show you guys is our communications tool. Actually, I'm going to go back and show you guys contacts. So currently in MemberHub, it's called People. You have your People tab, and the ones with the gold stars are your PTA members. Here in MemberHub 21, we are now calling it Contacts, and you can go ahead and manage your contacts. You're able to search by email or name to pull up the person that you're looking for, but obviously it's by alphabetical as well. When you want to filter, you are able to filter by, again, this is a test unit, so you'll see some crazy little funny roles and properties and stuff like that in here. But you'll be able to filter by role, or you'll be able to filter by hub, or we also have this new thing called properties, which you'll be able to filter by. So when you go, okay, maybe I don't have access in here as I thought I did. You're also able to import contacts. You're able to, oh no, of course, now my internet's being unstable. I'll give it a minute to pass. Okay, good. And you're also able to export contacts should you need to do that. But this is taking over that people role. And when you want to go ahead and look at somebody, you can go ahead and click View Profile. You're able to see more information about them that they've entered into themselves, and you're able to see all of their properties and their hubs as well. And you can remove them from an organization or add a role, or add a family. You have the ability to do a lot of the same stuff that you did in the people contacts. All right, so let's move over. Again, I'm just doing a real high level. I'm going to try to just kind of keep it real high, and then if you have questions, we'll get into the nitty gritty. But I definitely am encouraging everyone to set up the one-on-ones as well. Here under communications, you can see that this is where the hub organization is now. So hubs are groups of people that you want to communicate with and that you want to have a little bit more to it as well. In each hub, I like to use the example in elementary school, or actually it works in any grade level, but you could have like class of, right? So class of 2022, right? That would be next year's 5th grade class or senior class or 8th grade class. You can create hubs and have people organize themselves, or you organize them into those hubs. And then if you needed to reach out to your 5th grader, you needed to reach out to your seniors or whatever, you have the ability to reach out to them in a quick, easy way. You also within hubs have the ability to set its own calendar. It can, it's not just for messaging, it's also for calendar, it's also for files and things of that nature. You have a group of people that you're trying to, for whatever reason. So you could do it by grade level, you could do it by committee. There's a lot of different ways that you can utilize hubs, but is now under communications. Messages is going to be just a simple email message, like what you're used to utilizing in MemberHub. But we also have this newsletter feature, which is really, really fantastic and very engaging. So as I am waiting for it to pull up, when you want to add, I'm gonna let it pull up. You can see here that this is a history of all of the messages. You can see how many were sent, how many opens, how many clicks within the newsletter as well. So you have some really great metrics there. And you can also, if you have like a newsletter that you're sending out weekly or bi-weekly or monthly, you're able to go ahead and just copy it. So that way you're not reinventing the wheel every time, you're just changing the information in the middle. But for this, we're gonna go ahead and just do an add a new message. I'm going to say I'm starting a new campaign. Campaigns are, let's say you're having an event and you want to send out several messages about that event, right? It's a family fun engagement, it's carnival in October, let's say, and you're going to send out, an email about the carnival 4 weeks in advance, and then 3 weeks in advance, and then 2 weeks, and then, 3 days and 5 days, whatever, that would be considered a campaign. So you can have a campaign that's just all about your carnival, or you can have a campaign that's just like your newsletter campaigns and have all of those listed. So just again, it's about a hierarchy of grouping of emails if you wanted to do it that way. So here you'll be able to choose your contacts, your roles, or your hubs. So if you wanted to send to a particular hub or a particular role or a particular contact, you could do that here, but it will default to your contacts. So all of the people in your MemberHub. You'll be able to add a subject. So I'm just going to say, oh, let's use this one, the cool thing that's happening. And then you're going to be able to pick from one of these templates or create your own. We also, and I'll get into this a little bit more, have some preset fundraising campaigns that are easy for you to use if you utilize MemberHub fundraisers. But we're going to go ahead and just pick the 2 column. It's my favorite. And again, I'm not going to get too deep in here. I'm just going to do like a quick overview. And then if you want to learn a little bit more about newsletters and how to make your communication really dynamic, we can get into that on a one-on-one. But here you're able to click here. You can add in drop in an image. You can click here and change the font and make it really, fun with colors and different things. You have the ability to add buttons that take you to links. You can add in images and short descriptions and again, button text. And you have the ability to really just kind of drop and drag. For example, if I wanted to have another text box underneath this, I could just drop and drag. If I wanted to add another image after that, I can drop and drag. Buttons, sort of the same thing. And then when I go to click on it, I don't want it blue. I want it teal. I'm going to change the button text to say click here or whatever it is that I want, right? You have the ability to also change the background of your whole, oh, that's not the one I want. There we go. Change the whole background, right? So now it's really great. Another thing that I really like about our new newsletter is that you can see what it's going to look like on a desktop, and you can also see what it's going to look on a mobile device. So if someone's opening their email on their phone, you're going to be able to see what that looks like as well. So if something is weird formatted or the picture looks funky, you'll be able to see. Can you Katie is asking if we can translate languages. No, you don't have the ability to translate that here, but you, and I'll show you in a minute in Lowry PTA how we have steps that are included at the bottom of all of our newsletters that tell somebody how they can change it in their browser to translate for them. And Rachel's asking, so we have to save what we're working on. It doesn't save automatically. That's true. Will the ads still pop up? Asks Karen. That's a great question, Karen. I'm trying to think. Yeah, there's still ads. There's still ads. It's at the bottom. I was trying to think about that. Yeah, there is. What's another? But there is a way to control the ads if you want to. It is a additional purchase, but we can talk about that as we start talking about fundraising. But as it is, yes, there are still ads. Here in the, where it says selected gift backs or select store items, let's say you're promoting, the t-shirt sale and it's in your store already. So you can, or membership is even better example. And here at the, you could say, oh, I want to promote my membership. So I'm going to go ahead and copy the URL image right from here. So you're not having to go and, oops, that's not what I wanted to click. Cancel. You can go here and, where's my paste? Oh my goodness. Why are you, here we go. Copy and then paste. So now when I go and click here, this is the image that was used for that store item. So I don't have to keep going back and forth from my store. And I can also copy in the URL, so that direct link, right? So if I have that button here, I can go ahead and do that. I'm going to have it open in a new tab. If I wanted to open in the same tab, I can change that as well. But now that's there. And I don't have to keep going back and forth. It's all right here. And the same thing goes for your give backs. So that's kind of newsletters for the moment. And you're always going to want to remember to hit save here. And then you can go ahead and do a scheduled send. You can send now, or if you're ready to just kind of get things started, but you're not ready to send, you can just click save here and it'll save as well. And then when you come back over here to your newsletters, you'll see it right here at the top. And you can just continue to go in there and edit. Okay, so that's kind of like a really high level overview of newsletters. I really encourage you to get in here and kind of tinker around, play around, because you'll get just more and more comfortable with it when you do it that way. And again, you can have them looking really, really, really great. And I'll show you an example shortly. The next thing that I wanted to talk about was the website builder, and I've gone ahead and pulled that up for you as well. So when you click on website builder, it'll take you to this page where you can create your own free website utilizing MemberHub. So you could have just about anything you want. You do have only 6 pages plus your store, plus your givebacks, plus your fundraising. So I guess that technically makes it 7, 8, 9 pages if you have all of those open, but 6 customizable pages at a time. As you can see here, I have more than 6 created. You can create as many as you want, but you only get to choose 6 to go live at a time. So this is a really great, sorry, I was getting distracted by the chat. This is a really great example. Reflections, right? Reflections is only from this time to this time, and then it's kind of done. You can have that page created. You can shut it down when you're done with reflections and have that next program ready to go in its place. And then the following year, you can just open the reflections program page again, you know, change maybe the due dates and the theme and things like that in order to do that. And this is a really great, this is a really great opportunity for those of you who don't already have their own website or don't want to continue to pay for a URL or a hosting site to have this. This is also included for free with MemberHub because it's the partnership with Florida PTA. So when you're in here and you want to add a page, you're simply going to give it a name. So I'm going to call this one membership. And I'm going to give it a path, membership. And I'm going to choose my layout. So I can choose a content page, event page, landing page, officers page, or custom page editor. The events page will only pull from the calendar in MemberHub. So for this particular page, that's not going to be appropriate because we're going to be wanting to talk about membership. When I utilize events page, it's just pulling calendar information. Same thing goes for officers page. It just pulls officer information. So that's a great page for like a contact us. And it just pulls officer information, email, phone number, that sort of thing. Landing page is just for your home page, but it is very similar to the content page. And then a custom page editor is for those who want to dive in a little bit. But I'm going to go ahead and utilize the content page for this because this is our MemberHub website 101, click and point, make it simple. We don't have to be web designers to use this one. If you wanted to have a starting and expire, maybe it's a particular event that you don't want to have open all year round, you could do that. And then when you click is live, it is live on the website. So that's one of your 6 pages. But for now, I'm just going to go ahead and leave it like this. And now I've created my page. I'm going to go ahead and hit edit the web page. And again, it's a real click and drop and easy. Yes, it does personalize the personal email. Stacy is asking, when an officer page pulls the officer information, does it pull the personal email? Yes. And can we customize it to show the position email instead? The way that you would do that is just utilize your content page editor and just make your own instead of using the officer's page if you want to do that. Just don't use the officer's page. Stacy, that's a great question. So here under the content page editor, you know, I could just click that title and call it membership. I can't spell today. And then I could click and add a picture if I wanted to. So let's go ahead and add something here. I'm going to add, let's see. I think I got a MemberHub picture in here somewhere. We'll add my Lowry image in here. I'm going to save it without cropping. And again, why is it not adding it? Didn't like it. Okay. Save without cropping. Oh my goodness. You know what? It's because it's not. I promise it does. Example, but you would save your picture in there, and then you could do a title. So you could say like, you know, individual. You could talk about, you know, membership again, and then you can add in some stuff here like, you know, we love our members. You know, join now. You know, it includes, you know, all kinds of things. You can also add in images, change the font, all kinds of fun stuff here, links. You could do all kinds, whatever you want to add in here. As you can see here, this is now these are my 6 pages plus my store and give backs. And you're going to want to make sure you hit save before you head back to the website so that it's all saved on there. Let's go ahead, and I would not recommend showing the emails publicly. Just the main one tends to open up fraud. Yes, that's true. That is very, very true. But you do have to keep your contact information in the hub. So that is definitely important. So that's kind of how you add it and edit it. And then when you're ready to edit visibility and make it live, you're ready to do that as well. So when I go to my landing page, which is already live, and edit this web page, you can see it's very, very similar, right? You can add in a picture, you have kind of a drop and add sort of thing. Here on the front, you can add in featured products from your store. So if you wanted to have your membership featured or your event that's going on right now, you can feature that as well. With the current fundraiser box, it's only utilized with it only works with MemberHub fundraisers. So if you have something going on, you can add that here too. And I just double check. Oh, I'm doing okay on time. All right, good. And then again, it's just like kind of like a drop and click and add sort of thing. But if you were wanting to get fancy, it's going to look a little similar to you. So let's go ahead and see what the fancy one looks like. So I'm going to go ahead and just edit one that's already in custom page editor. And you're going to see it looks really similar to the newsletter stuff, right? So if I wanted to add a heading, I could add and drop. If I wanted to add columns, I could do that as well. I want to add 2 columns, and I want 1 button in here, and I want 1 button in here. And again, you're just adding in all kinds of stuff. Oops. Now I'm going to put in a divider. Put in a divider over here, add some more columns. Now I just want 1 column. Then I'm going to add an image in there. And you can build it to look however you like. But it is a little bit, it's called custom for a reason, right? It is a little bit more advanced. You can play around with it. You're not hurting anything, and you're just saving, and nobody can see anything that you're doing until you're ready to hit it live. So if you want a little bit more tutorial on it, then set up a one-on-one. But the drop and click and add one is really, really, really simple for most PTAs to use too. And it gives you guys kind of a front end to your store. So when someone goes to your store, for example, this one is the, witestunit.memberhub.com. When they go to witestunit.memberhub.store, that's what you'll see. So that would be for your local unit. It would, instead of when they go to the .store, instead of it just bringing you to the store, it brings you to a web page, so you have a little bit more flexibility to kind of push your PTA message. All right, so let's go ahead and talk about the store. Here now, when you click on View Store, it'll take you to your store. But when you click Online Store, it'll take you to like your store back end. You can view your store matrix, which is great. You can see your gross sales, your memberships, how much you've earned in give backs. You can also view your products, where you can add your new products. This one is not set up for membership, but because it's a test site, but membership would be another box here. You can click View Orders, see all of your orders. You can also add your cash and check orders from here so that all of your reporting is in one spot. Your store settings is pretty important. For those new officers and possibly new treasurers, you're definitely going to want to make sure that your Stripe account is connected to your new treasurer or to your new president if you are outgoing. So you're going to go ahead and click that View Express Dashboard. I don't know where it's going to take me since it's a test unit, to be quite honest. So hopefully it'll look something similar. Yes, it does. Okay, good. So then you're going to go to Account, and you're going to click this Edit button and just change the representative. Just like you have to change the name on your bank account, you have to change the name on your Stripe account to reflect someone actively a check signer on your account. So that's just a first thing that you, if you're changing over your new officers, you definitely want to check your Stripe account, make sure that that representative is still a representative of your PTA.
Quick question.
Yeah.
For our treasurers, will they be getting emails when there is an order, when someone purchases something on the store? Is that right now they have to check constantly?
Yes, that's true. You do have to check right now. That is a feature that that's been in the works for a while. I don't have a specific day when that is going to be something that is in process. But I do have I personally, so I'm, PTA leader here too, manage my own store as well. And my process is obviously the beginning of the school year. It's a little hectic, especially if you sell spirit wear, right? Everybody's looking for their t-shirts. So I would definitely encourage that at the beginning of the school year, you're checking daily or every other day and just keeping up on those orders because things are rolling in all the time. And then about 3 weeks after school started or 4 weeks after school started, when things have slowed down, I have a system. So I check every Wednesday. I pull all of my orders on Wednesday. They get delivered on Thursday, and I don't check again until the following Wednesday. And I make that clear on my store as well, so that people aren't, where's my order? Where's my order? Where's my order? I check on Wednesdays, gets delivered on Thursday. If you've ordered by the time I check, I usually check like 5 o'clock on Wednesday. If you ordered by the time I check on Wednesday, your order's in there. If you ordered on Thursday or Friday, it's going to be in the next week. And just really establishing that for yourself for the time being, and the expectation to your members and people purchasing from your store. That I think that's kind of the workaround for the moment.
Yeah, that's great advice, because if we let them know ahead of time, then that will definitely minimize some of those questions.
And anxiety, right?
Yeah. And then we have another question. For this store, will card readers for the store be available for Android soon?
I don't have a specific date or time on any of that, but we do have card readers. But you're right, it's not in Android. I don't have a date, but I will write that one down. And Android card readers, and I'll email Shelly so she can email out to everybody too.
Perfect, thank you.
Yeah. So, and then here's where you can change or continue to pass it on the processing fees or cover the processing fees. So this is where our store settings are now. Under view orders, it's really important to notice that here under filters, it looks a little different, but you're able to does not contain, purchase, refunded, pending, open. And then you can do your categories, you can do your types of membership, you can do your products. If you want to look up, I want to see who purchased Krispy Kremes, right? And then I can hit apply, and I can see everybody who purchased Krispy Kremes. If I want to do more than one thing, like memberships and Krispy Kremes, I can do that. So now it has 2, I can hit apply. And now I've got membership and Krispy Kreme. So that's really great if you're like me. I sell yearbooks pretty much year round up until a point, and the prices get higher as the year goes along. So I have several products of yearbook, right? But now I need to pull my yearbook list and get a total list of yearbooks purchased, so that way I can make sure everybody who purchased one gets one. Instead of having to run 4 or 5 reports because I've upped the price along the way, now I can just run 1 report with a couple of filters on it. So if you have products like that for yourself, like if you're doing like an early bird special and then, the last minute Susie, right? Whatever, you're able to kind of pull multiple filters at a time, which is kind of neat. Is there any questions about setting up products or selling memberships, this is really important to me that you guys have a full understanding of how to sell your membership through the MemberHub store.
I have a more general store question.
Okay, that'll work too.
I input our new spirit shirts into our store. And suddenly, for some reason, which I've never encountered before, the order of all of the things in the store went wonky. It will not resort them. It's like it's now magnet, membership, magnet, cling, membership, clings, shirt. It's,
yeah, your stuff went a little haywire, huh?
Yes.
Okay. So here, oh, now you're gonna test me in the new stuff. Oh gosh, let me show you what it looks like in the old stuff, because now I'm getting a little nervous.
Yes, please.
Like, wait, where is it in the new one? So I mean, it's very similar looking. So I'm just pulling up my store. If I go to view org admin, then I'm in here into products, and then there's this little sort button right here. Did you play with that, Cheryl?
I did, yeah, and I thought I had it all fixed.
Yeah. If you have it in the
problem
order
before.
Yeah, if you have it in the order that you want, it should be correct. Now I will tell you, even it's not. It's
well, what if?
Well, let's pull up your store. What's your store's name?
Crooms PTSA.
Can you spell that?
CROOMS PTSA. C as in cat, not broom.
Oh, sorry.
That's okay. The items are in the correct order, but it's interspersed the memberships into them. It makes no sense to me at all.
There's two O's for Crumb.
Two O's. I'm like, what am I doing wrong?
Thank you. Here, wait, I'll just. Yay, there we are. That's us. It's a mess.
So you want the magnets, then the clings, then the spirit shirts, then the donation.
Yeah, I mean, it was fine, but the issue being it was supposed to be all the memberships were first, and now it's interspersed the memberships into those items.
This might just be part of the update making your store a little weird. Let me look into this. I'm going to write down your store. It's about the time it happened. Yeah, let me go ahead and let me go ahead and I'm writing you down. I'll get back to you on Monday.
Thank you.
Cheryl, if you could just throw your email in the chat, I'll grab it before I head out. Okay, you're welcome. Will the forms for membership include a check for grandparents so we could sort the awards and events? Will the forms for membership include a check for grandparents? Oh, yeah, you can have grandparent membership. That is part of Florida PTA membership. So you can see here, grandparent membership. I have mine closed off. I only sell individual membership, and then I have a drop down for them to select what type of membership they are. But you can, Katie, you can definitely have grandparent membership. That's standard in your MemberHub store.
I have another receipt type question when it comes to when our units pay their membership dues. One of the questions that popped up is if it would be changing so that the treasurer would get a receipt of the dues paid.
Oh, like they want a confirmation from Florida PTA.
Yeah, something that they would be able to keep in, for their treasurer, for their on their end to show that they paid those dues.
So there is a button in the section where you pay your dues. I'm not gonna be able to show you that in this test site because this isn't connected. And I can show you that in the old one, but there is a spot where you can see view past, I forget exactly how it's worded, but you can see like a history of payments. You're saying that they need something more than that?
Well, just to be more convenient, because I guess right now we're having to do like a screenshot of that section.
Mhm.
So they were just asking if we would be able to get like just a receipt, like, okay, dues paid or whatever, or
Yeah, that might be something that, because really that's not a MemberHub thing. That's really more of like a Florida PTA thing. So that might be something to bring up to Florida PTA.
okay.
That, you know, like confirmation that the payment was received.
Yeah, or even on your end, like if they could export the CSV of like payments for membership or something like that.
Yeah, I'll look into that. I mean, they can go in there and see it, but I see what you're saying. They want something that they can print.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we're supposed to have like an itemized receipt sort of for every purchase. So it's got to say what it's for and how much we spent and the date, like all in one.
I believe that when you go look at the view payment history, that it does give you all of that information, but I hear what you're saying. Just having a printed version of that would be helpful. And again, that might be something that Florida PTA could provide, but I'm not super positive on that either. But I'll definitely look into it. Is there any other questions about the store and utilizing the store? There is inventory control. So if you are selling spiritware or magnets or anything else and you have only a certain amount, you do have the ability to do inventory, which is new since this time last year. But not too new, but it's new since this time last year. So if you hadn't explored since then, that is something in there. You have the ability to create as many categories as you'd like, and definitely encourage. Oh, this is the other thing with MemberHub 21. You know how your contact information for your membership, when they purchase a membership, it goes into your contacts, and now they're in there, and you have their membership card and everything like that. Now, when anybody purchases anything, even if they don't purchase membership, you will have their contact information in your people tab, or I'm sorry, in your contacts. I keep wanting to call it people because that's what I'm used to, in your contacts tab. So you'll have the ability to also filter that. So you can just see, you know, people who, and this will also work for fundraising. So anybody who is donating to your fundraiser, you'll be able to filter them. You'll be able to filter people who just purchase things. You'll be able to filter to just membership, and you'll be able to filter to like active users as well. But you will no longer have to kind of get that, you know, maybe like I've done in the past, download that information from the store and then upload it into people. Now it's just seamless, just like your membership. So then you have the ability to reach more people. So yay! Getting the word out about the PTA. That's my favorite thing. Okay, so the last thing that I wanted to talk to you guys about today is our fundraising platform. So we do have a pretty diverse fundraising platform. I've pulled up my schools to just kind of show as an example. But these are all the different types of fundraisers that you can run through MemberHub. Raffle, sweepstakes, a thon, event, crowdfunding, and auction. This is fee-based just like the store. So it is 7.5% plus the strike fee, which is 2.2% plus 30 cents. But depending on what platform you choose and how you choose to absorb or pass on those fees, it can be quite affordable, and there is a way to keep 100% of your donations. But again, if this is something that you're interested in, let's do that whole one-on-one thing and really dive in. I just wanted to show you guys that you do have the ability to kind of have MemberHub be your one-stop shop. You can do your fundraising there, you can have your store there, you can do your website, you can do all of your communication and have your membership organized as well. I really like to say that we take care of the business side of PTA, so that way you can start doing all the fun advocacy stuff that you're really there to do. No more spreadsheets in 50 different places, no more binders full of things. I mean, except for treasurers, you still gotta have your binders. But, you know, you can really kind of have everything organized in one spot, which is easy in this time to transition, right? I'm done, this is now yours, everything's there, goodbye. Go call Valerie, she'll train you how to use it, right? No, I'm just kidding, you'll do some training too. But anyways, the fundraising platform is very dynamic, very customizable, and I've been super successful myself. I've helped other PTAs be super successful. So that's really, really fun to see. I'm going to go ahead and show you one that actually just ended that I was really excited about. This is a super low cost, great idea fundraiser. And this is Hillsborough County local PTA unit, Hunter's Green. They just did a kids rule school raffle, which is that basically teacher for the day. So the kids got to purchase, or well, the families, not the kids, families purchase raffle tickets for their student to be teacher of the day in their homeroom. They usually do this in a non-COVID year to, you know, like a fifth grader could choose like their kindergarten teacher or a specials teacher or the media center and principal and all those sorts of things. This year, because of COVID, they really just kept it so like you're only buying for your, you know, for your classroom for obvious reasons. But anyways, it's a really cool idea because there's, you know, zero cost to the PTA, right? And you get to raise some needed funds, and the kids love it, right? It's super cool. So if I was in Miss Brody's class, or my student was in Miss Brody's class, you can, again, this is customizable. So you have the ability to choose how many entries and what they cost and all that stuff. But you could, and of course this is ended, so I can't, but you could just click on what you want to. Yes, you can, Rachel, you can charge for raffles in Florida as long as they are not on school campus, as long as the purchases are not being on school campus. It's an FLDOE rule. At least that is the way it has been explained to me. But I know Karen Mazzola is on here, and she might have a different explanation.
Yeah, we'll let Karen speak to that because I thought it was a state statute.
It's a FLDOE statute as far as I know.
Well, I know that the Florida DOE statute goes into more details and restricts it further, like no raffles at all. But there's a Florida state statute that doesn't allow nonprofits to do it with. Well, you can do it, but you can only suggest a donation. You can't require funds for it.
So there is a way to do that here as well. You could create a promo code so the raffle could be free to enter. So you could have some purchased and give people the opportunity to use a promo code.
Okay, good to know.
Use your kit of materials, which will be, I mean, the current kit of materials should be accurate with regards to raffles. There is two governing issues, like Rachel said. There's Florida state statute, and then there's the red book with the Department of Education. But definitely our kit of materials already covers that, and it hasn't changed in a few years at least.
Cool. Well, I'm happy to be wrong, but there is a way to do it too. So there are other platforms if you're not comfortable with raffle, of course. But anyways, there's a lot of different stuff that you can do, a lot of really creative stuff that you can do with your fundraising. Did anybody have anything specifically that they wanted to see with fundraising or questions specifically about fundraising?
Is there a way for the fundraising to like keep track of per class or per kid? Because if some of them is different.
Yeah, absolutely. So I'm going to go ahead and show you in my PTA. We did a crowdfunding because we couldn't actually do our fun run this year. So we chose to do it as a crowdfunding. And with that, you can have individual participation and classroom competitions or grade level competitions. You can do it however you like. So in this example, it was a fun run, but not really. It was everything about a fun run except for the run. So you could sign up to register your student. And when you signed up, they got a prize. And then you could see here was the class leaderboard. You could see here when students raise certain levels of prizes or raise certain amounts that they could get prizes for those different things. And then if you scroll down, you can see there's classrooms as well. So when you register your student, you're entering their name, you're picking their classroom so that any donations made in their name also get credited to their classroom. And you can see, you get to set, this is all obviously very customizable. You can set it up however you like, and there's no limitation as far as how many you could have. You also have the ability to have campaign chatter, which is kind of cute, you know, like, hey, go team, we're excited. You could see all of the, I chose not to show participants, just show classrooms. You could show a leaderboard for participants as well. But it is in dollar amounts. I know sometimes we do like readathons and people want to see leaderboards based on reading minutes. Unfortunately, our capabilities right now are only tied to dollar amounts. So we don't have the ability to show like a leader in activity, but there are some workarounds, which I'm happy to talk about one-on-one on how to do that, just kind of in a set way. There's no way to do that. You can see here, you can add in images, you can make it look really custom, and you can, embed video. We added our YouTube video, and then kind of like a how to register and stuff like that too. The other thing that I want to mention that is relatively new to fundraisers as well is the ability to do 2 fundraisers together. So like if you're doing an auction and a raffle, you could have both of those open, or an event and an auction, or the only thing you can't do together is an auction and sweepstakes, because they're kind of like the same thing. Or no, I'm sorry, raffle and sweepstakes, because they're kind of the same thing. But maybe you're doing an a-thon plus a auction, or an a-thon plus a raffle. You have the ability to, when you're setting it up, to select both platforms, and then you'll have everything on one page.
Thank you. I will say, as someone that is technically challenged, I did my first campaign, well, it was a sad campaign because I was trying to make it fast, but it is very, once you play around with the settings and dragging things into where you want it to be, it is super, super simple to do.
Yeah, it's a very walkthrough, but there's several of us working at MemberHub who are happy to do one-on-ones. So, and as many one-on-ones, and to be your, I'm freaking out, something's not working right during the fundraiser phone call. So please, if you are thinking about utilizing the fundraising platform, that you reach out and do a one-on-one setup, so we can give you that full customer experience.
Yeah, I appreciate it. I mean, this is a huge improvement. I'm a lot more user-friendly. I'm very excited to use the new platform. And you said it's Wednesday, right?
Wednesday, yes. Fingers crossed, don't hold me to it.
All right, well, you know that Shelly and myself will probably be right there refreshing.
Yeah. I'm not in charge of that part, so don't come yelling at me. I am hoping that it's going to be super smooth. But, give us some patience to Thursday. David, our director of IT, is, I'm sure, going to lose, if he has any more hair on the top of his head, he's going to lose it on Wednesday a little bit. So, but again, there's just a lot of really creative ways to utilize our fundraising platform. Like, we use the event is the most versatile. You can do all kinds of things under the event, because it's just a matter of customizing. We did a drive-in movie at the beginning of at the beginning of December, which was really successful, great social distancing event, and utilized the event platform there too. So I'm happy to share tips and tricks and all kinds of good stuff like that. I'm going to go ahead now and throw my meeting link into the chat.
And there was a rumor about a Starbucks or a gift card or something along those lines.
It's not a rumor. It's a true live thing. If you sign up for a one-on-one, you get a $5 gift card to Starbucks. I'm writing down Cheryl's email so that I can get back to her about her question with her store. I'd also really encourage for some technical information. The chat, the live chat that we have at the bottom of all of the screens, that is open from about 8, I think it's 8 to 4 is their technical hours. They're super, super quick to answer and respond if you're having like a quick technical issue. But if you're having kind of a bigger, like, I need to figure out hubs and organize all my hubs, or I need to figure out newsletters, or I want to talk about fundraising, go ahead and reach out to me utilizing that link, and we can set up a one-on-one call. I really appreciate you guys for letting me jump on today. I hope everyone has a really great, fantastic Saturday, and please take, a minute, I guess, to see if anybody has any questions.
Thank you.